Hello everyone, Mr. Stevens here with another video. In this lesson we are going to be looking at graphing simple interest. We've focused in the first couple lessons on just making calculations on simple interest. This time we're going to be representing it graphically. So we'll look at exactly how we do that, plotting simple interest on a set of axes. And if we have time, it won't be in this video, but if we have time in class, we'll also look at how to do it in a spreadsheet. The reason, though, that we want to do this is because we can use a simple interest graph to determine other values that we don't know instead of having to calculate everything. I think once we actually do some examples, you'll see what I mean by this. So this is the basic process we're going to follow. We'll be constructing a table of values, drawing up a number plan, adding the points, and then connecting the points. I'd like you to write down some form of this. I think it will make a lot more sense once you see it in action, once we do the example, but for now I would like you to write this down so you have it to refer back to. Pause the video if you need to. I'm going to jump into the next example. Okay, we want to draw a graph showing the amount of simple interest earned over a period of 10 years if $1,000 is invested at 8% per annum. Use a graph. So what we need to do is we need to start with our simple interest formula. P times R times N. And what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in values for principal. Remember, that's the amount that we started with. And the interest rate. But we're actually not going to put in anything for N just yet. If we simplify just this part of the formula with our calculator, 1000 times 0.08, that actually comes out to 80, and we've still got our N. Okay, this is important. This is an important step in this process. Writing down our formula, putting in the bits that we know, and then leaving N as N. This is going to be really helpful in a second. So now what we need to do is we need to draw up a table that looks something like this. We're going to put N up the top here, and we're going to put I down the bottom. So we're going to assign values of N from 0 all the way up to 10. Because that's what we're asked about in the question, 10 years. Okay, so we're going to use our table now to work out what the interest would be at each of these different years by using the formula we made for ourselves over here. So if we put 0 into that formula, we get 0 out. And you would expect that. After no time has passed, you would expect to not have any interest. After 2 years have passed, we put 2 into this formula. We get $160 of interest and continue on up the table, putting in the number into the formula and seeing what we get out. Alright, and there we have it. We have our table of values. That's important step number 1 taken care of. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to draw up a set of X and Y axes. Now when you guys are doing this in your book, you'll definitely be using a ruler. I am just kind of guessing and using this program to help out a little bit. So along the bottom we're going to put values of N. Oh, I need to make this a little bit longer, sorry. Right, there we are, we're up to 10. Now, we need to somehow fit the value 0 to 800 here on the I, on the vertical axis. So I'm going to suggest maybe we go up in lots of 200. And now we're going to be able to start putting points onto the graph. So we know 0, at 0 we have 0, at 2 years we're at 160, at 4 years we're at 320, at 6 years we're at 480, at 8 years we're at 640, and at 10 years we're at 800. You guys will use a ruler when you're doing this process, so you will be a lot more accurate than I am being. The last step will be to put a line through all the dots. Okay, now that we've done all of that setup, we can actually answer the question. What was the interest earned after 7.5 years? So now we need to use our graph. What we're going to do is we're going to come here to 7.5. We're going to go up to the line that we've drawn, and then we're going to see exactly where that falls. And it looks like it's a bit over 600. Let's say 610. And we would expect that. At 8 years we have 640, so if we're a bit less than 8 years, we should expect to be a bit less than 640, and that's what we've got. So what I'm going to do is, in class, I will go through these first couple of questions from the exercise. What I would like you to do, if you're watching this video and you haven't been to class, I'd like you to just have a go at these on your own. Come back and look at how I did this first one if you need it. But if you're still struggling, come and find me and I'll help you out. Yeah, otherwise you're going to be doing question 3 and 4. But have a go at that question 1 and question 2 as well from up here. Thanks, guys.